Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lori, and this is the third journal in the 5 journal series. And this is the gratitude. Look, my friend and client Sharon gave this to me, and it is beautiful. Do you see? And I love, do you see the difference? How the gratitude journal is pretty, the positivity journal is pretty. I like pretty things. I like to have that. And I am going to do a giveaway on a journal in the Kahoot game for the Patreon subscribers and the TikTok Live subscribers. So, but yes, so I want to talk to you about the positivity journal because people are like, what's the difference between positivity journal and gratitude journal? And much like the gratitude journal, it's not just about saying, oh, this is my positive thought. Nope, nope. Because again, you're looking at these things as checklists. This is to be in the present space. Yes, will you feel better once you make this a habit every single day? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is this meant to be a job? No. This is time for you to stay present and to really understand like the progress that you're making in your life. And the gratitude journal and the positivity journal is great. I want you to have those on hand for when you just don't feel all that positive. When you feel like you're in the dumps, pull that out. Remember some of the things that you've done in the past. So let's talk about the difference between gratitude and positivity. So the gratitude journal is staying in the present space, really looking and saying what I'm grateful for, right? So a little recap on that without having to go back is, let me see, what can I pull? Oh, well, this guy, he's walking across. Do you see him? That's Link. So I am grateful for Link, and I'm not just grateful for Link because he's one of the most amazing kitties on the planet. He's like a cat dog. I am grateful for him because he keeps me grounded in the aspect that he loves love. He is very much not a normal cat in the aspect that you can cuddle him, you can love on him, and I am grateful for him just because he exists. He keeps me grounded, he keeps me happy. That's just him. Okay, so that's different. The positivity journal has nothing to do with him or anything else that you're grateful for. This is action oriented. I want you to think of the positivity journal as action orientation. Okay, so when we're talking about action, hold on, we're going to grab the cat. Grab the kitty. There you go, Mr. Man. You can sit on my lap now. That's what he wanted. He wanted to sit on mom's lap. So with the positivity journal, I want you to keep in mind this is action oriented. So today, let's go to today. Don't date them. Again, stay in the present space, not a space to just sit and be like, I am positive that I did this, or this was an affirmation I had. That's great. I'd rather you do that than nothing. But in today's, I said, oh, okay. Because remember, it's action oriented. I am starting my second week on my Monday, Wednesday, Friday planning for my working out. I went for a run in the humidity, even though it was wretched. Good. It's true. It was very wretched. I am confident that I completed the task for the day, and I only ever have today. That's my mantra. You know how my day is. You are capable of, my mantra every morning. You are capable of handling anything that I am capable of handling, anything that the day sends my way, and I only ever have today. So that's an action oh, and then there's more. Oh, well, there's just a run on from, kind of not a run on, it's almost like a weekly thing, a daily thing. Gratitude journal has been completed, and I was much more detailed and feel much more grateful. So I'm making even more progress on my own. See, so this is you giving yourself props for the things that you're doing, the actions that you take. Okay, so let's go back to yesterday. I know this has to do with my watermelon. So that's why you're like, watermelon? Yes, I want to tell you. Okay, because sometimes I buy things. I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes you'll buy a bag of salad and you just buy it so it can die in the back of your refrigerator. So I said, the things that I've done outside of all of the other journaling, the things that I have done positive today is I cut up the watermelon and divvied it up into different containers. I have also allowed myself, apparently I'm really giving myself credit here, to cut up the cucumbers so they don't go rotten. Oh, yes, because again, I'll buy produce and I eat so much vegetables. So I try to buy frozen more than anything, but when I do buy fresh, sometimes I'll be like, I'll cut it up tomorrow. So I didn't procrastinate it. I don't use those words too much in my positivity journal, like I'm not procrastinated or I'm motivated, because both of those things aren't really real. So I'm very specific about it. So when you're in your positivity journal, this is based on your actions, not everybody else's actions in the world. This is based on your actions. What did you do today? What did you accomplish today? Sometimes in some of my positive journals, when I've been coming out of a depressive snap, I'll be like, wow, I actually got up, went pee, brushed my teeth today, and didn't get right back in bed. Like, I'm really happy for that. So I want you to realize that your positivity journal is action oriented based on your actions that you have accomplished in that day. It's always great to give yourself credit for doing something in your gratitude journal, because do that first thing in the morning before you go to work, before you do all that. Sit down, give yourself that time. And actually, I know I've written in that. Well, this is a newer journal, so I haven't populated some of these back pages yet because she just sent this to me. I have literally like a stack of books of my journals, right? Because of my positivity journals and of my gratitude journals. So like I said, on the days where I just forget, that you're not, everybody goes through those days where sometimes you feel like you're a total screw up, but you're not. So on those days that you kind of feel like you are, you grab it, you're like, oh, that's right. And sometimes even if you feel like, and if you don't have anything positive to write that day that you did, action oriented, okay? Not just thoughts, but action oriented. When you actually take action, then it's fine. Go back to your positive journal or your gratitude journal, look at some things that you've done. Now you do have something positive to write about. Action oriented, because you were like so low that you had to take the time out to go to your gratitude and your positivity journal. Well, even if that's the only thing you write in here, you got something to write, right? Some days you may feel like you don't have anything to write, but there is always something that you can take action in. Even if you're like, didn't really want to stop by the gas station in 111 degrees or minus 11 degrees. But you know what I did? And I'm glad I did, because I ran in, grabbed me a lottery ticket that I was trying to get for this week. That may not seem like a big deal to you, but it's positive because you weren't going to stop there in the first place. So the gratitude journal is simply for things that exist to stay in the present space. The positive journal is to give yourself your own validation. Stop seeking external validation. No one needs to know that you did your journals. No one cares that you did your workouts for the day. It's always good. I like to do them. I put them on my stories just because I like to do it for myself. It makes me feel good. And if it inspires others, great. So you have to understand that when you give yourself the credit, this is where self-love starts to breed, and you start to really see the things, because you get so focused on all the things that you've done crappy and all these things. Who cares? That's what that negative journal is from yesterday. That's where you can process, well, why can't I let this go? That's your ego. When you can't let things go, it's your ego, right? So when you're processing that, now as you start to take action and you're like, wow, I'm really been specifically doing these journals every day this week. Great, that's action oriented. And it's the way you validate yourself. Let's say you pass some certification that you were trying to get for your job, right? You say, I studied, and you know what? I barely made it through, but I did it. And I really did my studying here. Not that just that you passed it, right? Or maybe you didn't pass it for the last 3 times, but you did now. You say, you know what? I'm really good. Like I'm happy that today I did the studying that I need for this next thing. Because you're not going to be going backwards on your positive journal. It's daily. So you don't have to go back and be like, I passed that test last Thursday. We're not on last Thursday. We're on here. Time only exists now. Time's linear. It stays here, right? And so when you get clear in that, then and only then are you able to really validate yourself. Then if your husband or your sister or your kids or whatever don't acknowledge it, it's okay. Because you're going to process in your negative journal. And what I was saying in the negative journal video, I like to keep these together. Because sometimes I'll be in the negative journal, like working through something, and I'll be like, yeah, but I did a lot better today than I did yesterday. Ooh, let me grab my positive journal. So I like to keep these together. I just do. I feel like the negative and the positive journal go together. They don't live in the same place. Like, don't put negative things in here. Don't put positive things in the other place. But it gives you a space to see when your mind starts to jump in different things. That's the whole reason for these 5 journals. Stop trying to do it in just one journal, or not do it at all because journaling sucks and you don't like to do it and blah, 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 don't care, right? Seriously. Because if you're trying to get better, you're going to have to do the things uncomfortable that you don't feel like doing. So when you're going through this and you're able to, again, you're not doing this with any expectations. Stop with attaching anything, any expectation to it. This is simply to be in the present space, to acknowledge the good thing that you've done today. Even if maybe you couldn't brush your teeth the last 3 days because you were that depressed and today you did. You know what? Great. Write that down. And write how that made you feel. Again, feeling state. Be descriptive. You see, I'm descriptive. Don't just say, wow, I did my workout today. Okay. Well, and what else are you going to do with it? It forces you to sit in there and to acknowledge. So now it's breeding a different type of energy into your field. And that is your positivity journal, babies. We'll talk about daddisms tomorrow.